Welcome to Podcaster Toad. My name is Rad.
I am Tech.
Meh.
Today we're gonna kind of talk more about creating our own maps, and today we're gonna kind of focus on Meh since he's our guest of honor. So, Meh,
Now
what
you're
kind of
making me
ideas you got?
nervous. I got a
What?
lot of ideas, man.
Catch
I got so many ideas. I got two on my mind, though, if that's what you want to hear.
That's
Yeah,
exactly what we want to hear. So you decide which one you want first, and then give us the lowdown.
Okay, so the thing about these two ideas is that I really don't have a lot other than the main, like, thing of it. You know what I mean? You know what I mean?
Like the
Like,
setting.
there's, like, the setting, kind of, and the names, and just everything else I would have are kind of bits and pieces and ideas, and I would need to figure
Sounds-
out something off of you guys if you can help me with it.
Let's bounce it off each other. So what are your main setting name ideas then?
I'm gonna start with, and this is the one I kind of like the most. It's called Desolation Cell, and I always kind of wondered after Revelations came out what it would be like if there was a map inside the summoning key.
Ooh,
And I was thinking with that map, like you don't really know a lot about the summoning key and its features and like anything about that. So I would have assumed that like this map is always changing, like it's changing enough to where it's like you might not have even the same layout the entire like game, let alone
Mhm.
next playthrough. Like it'll change up entirely. Not that enough that it's like a different map, but it's like there's areas that are familiar, but it's not going to be in the same order, or it's just it's a different experience overall. New perks are different places, guns are different places. Just kind of that thing just kind of shakes it up
so
entirely.
the bane of speedrunners is what you're telling me.
Yeah, basically.
They'd hate that, but
They would
I do really
hate
like
it, but
that.
it's a good concept in my head. It just it's always kind of stuck as weird because I just wouldn't know where to take that.
Mhm. Well, so is the idea that the map changes every time you start it over because it's like a new cycle, or is it like it
It's more like
it's just kind of fluid. It's just kind of changing all the time.
yeah, and because it's the summoning key, it's just kind of got to be an unpredictable realm of meh.
Ooh.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like we're assuming that inside the summoning key, there's just this realm of something. You know, energy, Monty's bath salts. I don't know.
Well, like the way I kind of see it is like I know the one of the explanations for like the difference between Ether and Agartha is like Agartha is the our human 3D, representation of the Ether. It's how we see it. So I could see, yeah, like this inside of the summoning key is like this.
Pocket
It's something you
ether,
can't even
perhaps.
describe.
Right.
So
It's
you're
gonna
kind
be
of
super
envisioning what it
wacky.
is.
Yeah, super wacky. Like I don't know.
It almost reminds me of like when what are the old theories? I'm trying to remember it's like Admiral Boyd or Admiral B something, right? He comes upon Hollow Earth and he like curls over and just sees just an incredible
God, sorry.
expanse of, right. It's like it reminds me of that in the summoning key. Oh, and the other example, I think they brought this up on some previous pod months ago. Like if I don't know, May, if you've seen Harry Potter, where you step inside one of the tents and they're way bigger than they appear on the outside. So there's a lot of fun stuff you could probably
I
do
mean,
with
I've
that.
seen Doctor Who.
There's probably similar.
That's basically the same. They're not. They don't sound very different, no. Sorry.
I think that it's also an
Over
opportunity
here.
to kind of bring together like characters that would never really need to meet each other. Or, like entirely
mean-
different species even. If you want to throw aliens in there.
Ooh,
I
Just
mean,
'cause,
we
like,
can consider
it's
the idea that, like, there's probably some keeper stuff in that,
right.
some Argartha corruption, maybe if it's a custom map idea, like if it's splitting and diverging away from what we understand as a story, just an example, we go in there and the Shadow Man's there.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah,
Or even maybe it's the four souls from Shadows in there.
That's
and
what I
they
was
play a
thinking.
part in releasing the Shadow Man or making it so Maxis gets involved.
right.
It's kind of spitballing here, but it's like, you know, that kind of idea.
Yeah, I think that there's so much you could do. Just like maybe right, like time isn't even the same in there, so you can even do like a best of type, like all significant, like a lot of significant moments with the summoning key. You're inside, maybe you can only hear outside or get snippets of what's happening outside. Like Maxis, doing his thing with the summoning key in the basement. Maybe just like getting the perspective of what that looked like on the inside, and just other significant events. That could be cool.
Yeah. Like you do some sort of piece of the Easter egg, and then you hear them talking about killing Dempsey. This is another thing. It's like you're just in there for a minute, and then they've probably traveled for like a couple weeks outside of that.
Mm-hmm. It'd be interesting if this is one of those custom apps where there's like you're kind of following a mission and you have to get to a certain endpoint where it's like it could even be like an entire retelling of the storyline where it's like you start in like Noct, you see like you're fighting Nazi zombies like normal, but then you have to move further in to like Verrückt, you see Dempsey there. It'd be like a way to kind of tell the storyline using existing assets. That'd be interesting too. And you could
Boy, you're reminding
map
me of
flow
some of
would
my
be so
maps. You remind me of some of my other maps.
It's a cool
I
concept.
don't want to start on that though.
Right? You've got so
That's
many.
the can of worms.
Yeah.
That's probably another thing we can talk about later, but I would like to get the ideas flowing first,
Yeah.
So,
But
okay, do you think there could be any? Okay, this is something I'm gonna ask and I'm gonna struggle answering personally. I'm not very good at coming up with perks, but can you think of any interesting perks that could be specific to a summoning key type map?
well, that was always my struggle because when I created perks, and I've maybe created one, it was like that. It has to be central to that map, and maybe it's reusing certain aspects of other things we've seen, like Exoslam in a regular old zombie setting. Just an example, you see that come back, or um, sorry, this I don't know. It's hard to really think of perks that make sense in a place, especially like that. I
Right.
think it would, at best, you would still be able to follow maybe these shouldn't exist here kind of thing from Mob of the Dead. That's as far as I would assume it would fit.
What about like, because in a setting like that, you can really do anything you want with like movement. So some sort of movement based one. Like I don't want to say
Ooh.
flying around, just because that would. I mean,
That would
maybe
probably
adding a
be-
boost pack or like some kind of grapple thing. I don't know.
I think both of those would probably be interesting to see, but also
Oh, or like the
I don't
like
know.
Dishonored where you teleport to a certain spot. But yeah, go on.
I don't know if you guys have played Destiny 2 or seen gameplay recently, but they introduced a new dungeon called Prophecy, and in two of the different mechanics, well, they flip the room, or they play with the idea of environment a lot differently than you would think in a normal gameplay setting. So, like, for example, you can pick up these certain items in the actual light in the map or dark, and then there's certain rooms, literally as I was saying before, that after you do just that, they shove you up in the air and they flip the room entirely. It just messes with your perspective of the entire encounter. And maybe there's something like that happens in this kind of map. Like you jump into a room and then it's sideways, and then like you're just while running into that room, and then you're just walking again.
Okay, here's a question. If you are in the summoning key, maybe you're like miniature, right? So what if some sort of gobblegum or perk, you do something, maybe it'll be the Easter egg, I don't know. It takes you outside the summoning key somehow, but you're still mini. And you could do some crazy stuff that way, you know?
You're just in Der Eisendrache, and you're looking at the teleporter room, and
This is like this reminds me of this is a weird reference, but Jimmy Neutron Attack of the Twonkies on the PS2. There's a shrink ray. You shoot a mirror and you shrink yourself down. Anyway, that's a very strange idea, but I love it.
I think that'd be perfect, you know, and then I don't know, somehow tie it back in with the you could somehow tie it back in with the JGB 215, you know, shrinking people. I don't know, you know, tie it full circle.
Mm-hmm.
My controller just died, but I was saying, yeah, one step you're in teleport room at Horizon, and then later on you pop up in Dragon Command. We'll go with that.
Oh,
And you have to pick up something. And it makes sense. I would be agreeing with that idea. It's just, I don't know, it'd be weird to kind of incorporate.
How would you feel about the idea? Because I've always wanted to have a map where you could kind of pick what characters. I guess kind of like Alpha Omega, but with like even more expansive. Because the summoning key, you could make up any whatever reason to be able to play as any character from Zombies history. And I like the idea that you can mix and match, and there is quotes there somehow. This would obviously have to be like an official map, not a custom map, but like have characters interact that would never even meet, in, like the Shadow Man and Stuhlinger kind of, or just something kind of like Blackout, I guess. Just mix, you can mix and match the team.
Oh,
Shadow Man and Monty. Ooh.
I agree. I think any map that
I need a Shadow Man Monty map. Good lord, you just gave me that whole thought process.
that would be a gold mine of stuff. But if I'm gonna get any real Hollow Earth, I mean, like summoning key is different, but in the sense that it's just, I imagine the inside of a summoning key is like just like pure ethereal energy, maybe like Vril, or I don't know. I almost imagine it as like the Black Sun, or you know, just something super critical like that. And so I would love to see just huge. The developers have a lot of fun with changing time and, you know, space a lot, especially time personally. So right, the idea of like being able to switch the cast together and have like some unique fun quotes and interactions I think that'd be so fun.
You could even have it, I mean, you could even have it in the map itself. You switch characters, like either by going to a different area of the map, maybe. Like say for example, I guess that would change up like who you're playing, because it's like, how are you switching bodies like that? But
no, we could also assume. Or I'll let you go first.
yeah, I was gonna say it's like you're like tagging people in and out. You know, it's like you know, like when you're like wrestling and you can like clap the hand and come back in. You could do something like that.
That's what I thought tag was gonna be. I thought it was gonna be like sometimes you're Victus in Call of the Dead, and then sometimes you're Primus and Ultimus in like the forest or whatever. That's what I thought it was gonna be. And that's
let me
still spitball.
Let me spitball an idea real quick. Let's assume that you spawn in different areas of the map as those 4 souls that went into the summoning key, right? And then first step of the Easter egg, Shadow Man gets involved. Later steps of the Easter egg, you start rolling in Dempsey and all those characters, and by the end, all of those characters come back at the end as an ensemble to do something. So you would see all these characters by the end of the map. You would play as them.
Right. Yeah, the end would look like Smash Ultimate or something. Just
And
the
then, of course,
entire roster, just they're standing on a cliff or something.
Oh my.
Yeah, and then of course I would think, because I like making things really different. The Shadow Man gets special abilities, but do that either. It's just
Right.
I like to play with the
so, like,
idea of that kind of
character
stuff.
specific like perks or like different like things that are different to them.
It could be perks, but I also like the idea of redesigning the game enough to where everybody gets like an ability, or like
That's what I was thinking, if they-
reutilize the D-pad.
Right. Kind of like Destiny, where it's like they're like classes rather than characters. That's
Ooh.
interesting.
Yeah,
I like the idea of doing a hero, almost a hero-based type thing, to use another word for it. Yeah, just each one has their own individual strengths and weaknesses. That could be such a fun avenue.
I've tried playing with the idea of just giving characters abilities like that. Anyways, I think it would be really interesting to incorporate that into ether-based maps. I don't know how you do it. For me, I led up to it, but like
Well,
I
kind of
don't
like
know.
Sam has that like ability where she can like just create like a big explosion, right? But just say while they're in the
I
summoning
think that
key,
she would be involved too.
they kind of
You'd
get
see
those
her in
abilities
there.
too.
Throw Sam in the summoning key. Oh, and at the end, Maxis has to get involved. I just remembered that. That's great.
Isn't he an
Now,
orb
I
now?
sound disparaging, but it's actually like, wow, good ideas.
Oh, and Sophia, isn't she in there?
Well,
Yeah.
she's more of like a wisp-ish thing, I think, for most of the Revelations. And then she gets a body for some reason. Where did we get her body?
collect
Did
the
the summoning
bones.
key just create her body?
The bones were
Well,
scattered.
we get her bones, but like, it's not a robot. Those are bones.
Right. Yeah. I think it's like your human body, and then you. I don't. That Easter
The
egg,
summoning key rearranges the matter into bones. We'll just give them credit for that.
has many abilities.
Yeah,
It's
I don't
good,
know.
though.
It takes the DNA, it does some super advanced reconstruction. Maybe, I don't know.
Maybe that's what we do for the final boss fight. It's Sophia. Whoa.
Ooh.
That actually would be interesting. Just fighting a big ball that shoots lasers. Reminds me of Destiny.
Oh, I'll pass on that.
Not really. It doesn't remind me of Destiny, really.
So, okay, what about a map based around like? Actually, no, never mind. I was just gonna go into a whole different map idea, but
I mean, we can throw that up there, too.
basically,
My-
I was just gonna say like, because I was thinking like, think of like before humans, right? Keepers versus Apothicons. I'm thinking like, the 4 keepers that wielded those like the bows that are in Der Eisendrache, right? Just who I would want. You'd have to make new keeper characters essentially, and you'd be playing as them fighting like ancient Apothicons. I don't know.
Let me rebuttal you with this.
That's not even.
Do you
real
want to
zombies.
hear grunting and screeching for most of the entire map? That's what you're
Yeah.
listening to as character quotes.
We can. We'll have
Also,
a
are there
universal
dinosaurs?
translator.
Also, are there dinosaurs?
Yes.
This
there
makes-
are
this makes
dinosaurs. We should have
good.
Matt on here. To
That
talk
made
about
all the
dinosaurs.
I remember
Yeah.
a trailer back in the day where it was just Ultimus Richtofen riding a dinosaur, and I'm just like, this is fake, but I love it.
I need that in my life.
Yes.
There's probably dinosaurs in the
Please.
key. Put them in.
Yeah, I mean, I hope so. Maybe that's why they're extinct.
God. Yeah, imagine like, because everything's mashed together in the summoning key, so it's like, imagine like Darius, but it's like overgrown, and there's dinosaurs wandering around. It's like overtaken by wildlife. It's just
I know
so
this is big
strange.
spitballing, but and we can go to the next map after this. I got a really weird question.
Mhm.
Is the meteorite that wiped out the dinosaurs made of
Oh my God.
115?
Oh my God,
Dude.
where's Matt?
What? Okay,
Hold
that's
on.
its own. Put a pin in that. That's its own episode right there. Literally,
Okay.
that's its own episode. with Matt when
All
we get
right,
him back here.
Wait. Hold on a second.
But then, okay, we would
X-Files.
need there would be zombie
Wait.
dinosaurs. No, okay, there must have been,
That's
and
exactly why.
then they died
Dinosaurs are
down.
descended from keepers because the summoning key was used to give dimensions
Whoa!
life. The summoning key was used to give dimensions life, so therefore all life on Earth is descended from keepers, including dinosaurs. Keeper dinosaurs.
God.
All right.
Dude.
Anyway.
Okay.
It's actually fantastic.
Too much.
No, I think that's great. I think that would be great. Zombie dinosaurs. Let's do this.
there is
Wow.
no such thing as jumping the shark in zombies. So
Nope.
I feel like
Nope.
we already did that.
Episode title.
they did that back in Der Riese. This is.
Yep.
There's no further jumping. There's no
Episode
shark.
title: Zombie dinosaurs in
Literally.
space.
Zombie dinosaurs confirmed.
Zombie dinosaurs in space.
We know they're
Dinosaurs
confirmed.
in
Oh, dude,
Spaceland.
this is wow.
On Jupiter. They're on Jupiter now.
Venus even
Oh
potentially.
right, yeah. The source is on Venus.
Venus is a garden world now.
Oh no.
Anyways,
Okay, we
this
need
is
to.
way off topic.
Yeah, we're killing our viewership. All right, so
He's really funny though.
Yeah. Yeah.
Next idea, right?
Yeah. next
Yeah.
idea.
What do you got?
So this one has way less ideas going for it, but I have the idea of, you know how in BioShock Infinite they have Elizabeth, right? This might be
Yep.
spoiler territory, but she creates those universal
Mm-hmm.
tears in reality. So I'm thinking some event in this map, and I'm gonna call it Terminus Falls, by the way. It's gonna be like Sky Rome, but ripped between the past and the future. And parts of it look like they're from the past and even have kind of an aesthetic like tears sometimes, and they've ripped between the two every now and again. It just some event causes this, and the whole goal of the map is to fix it.
How did you reach into my mind? Pull that out.
I've had that for years. I don't know
So-
what to do with it.
So would this literally be like a, you know, like you're freaking like mending the rift almost, and you're just like literally looking at rifts, or is it like separate from that whole system?
It's, well, I was just thinking like there are like this is just tears in the fabric of reality on a big scale in one enclosed floating Roman island. We'll call it that. So like some
Oh.
areas are gonna be literally just unstable as all hell with those kind of rifts, and your job in the whole map is to just find a way to fix it. So yeah, you're mending rifts basically, but yeah, I don't know. We're the dimensional repairmen in this map basically. I told you I had less ideas for this.
So when you say Roman, you said Roman.
Like architecture and like Parthenon or something. That's probably Greek, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Greco-Roman-esque.
So it's like a sky city, kind of like BioShock Infinite.
Or maybe floating gardens, like a Babylon or something like that. That too, a little bit mixed. Like
Yeah.
the Roman side of it is going to be a floating island. It's going to be super gorgeous with nature and all that. And then the
Oh, go ahead.
I was going to say the futuristic side would be more chrome and white and maybe even modern, but also modern post-futuristic kind of thing. Like it's future in a broad sense, if you want to call it that.
Okay, on that, do you imagine sharp corners or rounded corners
What do you mean?
on the outside of your future modern white chrome buildings?
Probably rounded.
I don't know, just wondering. So I was thinking, ever since the leak of the house on the rock, that those pictures or the video or whatever, I've been obsessed with the idea. Well, I guess not just then.
What are
Well,
we
okay.
talking about?
I think it's architecture. It's like a house built into like.
Well, I was relating it
think
back
I
to
know
the
what
idea that your Rome thing was on a floating.
Oh,
like-
you're talking about my other thing. Yeah, no, it's kind of like that, but different. It's like it's more of its own enclosed actual space. Like I don't even know how to describe that.
So, okay, what?
It's way different. You're talking about Citadel, right?
No. No.
Oh,
I think
okay, you're mixing me up.
Of a. I think we. I'm thinking. Are you talking about? Is a picture of like a house that's like this architect like built it into like I guess not a side of a mountain, just like it's within nature, that kind of architecture. Is that
I
what you're
am.
talking about?
I apologize for making the house part of it, I guess, seem more important. I'm just referring to the, I guess, probably.
You mean
Black
like
Ops-
it's in the side of a mountain?
No.
Oh. Oh.
Sorry. There is. Get rid. No. I'm just fascinated with the floating island idea, and the thing that really ignited that for me was, on the Shadows of Evil note where you see what appears to be a floating, a house on a floating rock. And then just the fake leaks that came out, later on, people were trying to get you to think a later DLC was going to be, the house on this floating rock. So I'm
ended up
obsessed with
kinda
this
being
floating
that.
idea.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
oh wait.
you're just in space and there's just islands. Yeah.
Can this map have a sky?
It's not an original idea when you think about it, because they did it, and I think a few other things did it. I know I did it.
We have a sky hook that will let you traverse the map on a rail or something.
Ooh.
That would probably be locked to futuristic sides of the map, though. But
That's
I would like to see it.
That's fun.
This might as well just become a Bioshock Infinite map.
Yes.
You could have a
I
floor.
wouldn't want it to be that.
Yeah, I know. I just want a skyhook. But anyway, yeah, I'm interested to see how the. So what
You
is
do a
the
flogger.
story behind the mixture of Roman in the past versus and in the future looking?
I really have no idea. I really don't. If it were me, I would try to find some convoluted way to spin it off of my other maps. I don't think I could, but I'd like to try, kind of thing. Like some dimensional shift, some
I almost want to go like
machinery in the past, an artifact in the future, or actually vice versa.
yeah. I'm almost thinking like a Star Trek with it, where it's like maybe this alien
You
race.
have
I
to
guess in
save
this
the
case,
whales.
it'd be the Apothicons. They transport like this city from actual Rome into space just to like observe them and kind of study them. Maybe the Keepers did this, but it's like eventually because of their isolation, they had to like, and because like they're surrounded by 115 and or whatever. But there's some reason that they become super technologically advanced. So over time, they're like trapped between two eras. One where they're super advanced, and one just like the ancient time. I don't know if I explained that very well, but
In my head, it sounds like you're dropping the whole dimensional rift idea, which I think would give the map a lot more whoop-pow kind of energy,
Yeah.
But maybe that's the gimmick. Maybe you make the rifts.
Mhm.
Like you generate perks with that or something.
Right. Yeah, that could work.
That would be an interesting way of doing it. Like you
maybe
not only you design where the perks go in this map. That is it. You curate how you want to play the map, and it's stuck between those two kind of shifting ideas.
That sounds like Black Ops 4. People don't like Black Ops 4, man.
something.
People decided where they wanted Pack Punch. I remember that.
something that just popped into my mind that I think would be interesting is on the oh, don't tell me it escapes at literally the moment I want it. No.
I always hate ideas like that.
All right, continue.
Failure.
Right, it'll come back, but that's devastating.
I don't know really where else to go with that, other than these are kind of the ideas I got thinking of with that. I've always been stuck with those two names though for those maps: Desolation Cell, Terminus Falls. It's just like I came up with these nice things and I just don't know what to make with them. But these are good ideas you guys are giving me for them, right? And I like the train of thought.
Mhm.
Being able to
So,
talk them out is good.
all right, so now I want to end it here, not end it, but transition towards the end here with the question on these maps. We've sketched a little bit out. We've got one inside the summoning key, and we've got this other one, that's partial floating island with the with the other side, the chrome white buildings that are rounded, by the way. Don't forget it.
I don't see why that's important, but go on.
What? How do you? Yeah, exactly. How would you relate it to, or how would you want to specifically relate it to the upcoming, Black Ops Cold War and your idea of what you want Cold War to be, and how do you want to wrap these maps in that theme, I suppose.
It's a good question to ask, and I kind of hate that you asked it, but for a good reason. And it's kind of because I don't like being limited when I like to create that kind of stuff. So some of these ideas, maybe we can place them in certain realms of this area of the story, or connect it to the story with this.
You could slot them like just kind of between old Ether. It doesn't necessarily have to be after Tog or anything.
The good thing about maps like this is that you have a playground of infinite time to put them anywhere in the timeline, and they can either affect it, be a part of it more close up, or if you're like me, throw it all away and make a new timeline. Because I like that. But just I don't know if I would put it specifically on the tether of the upcoming Treyarch release at all. I think I would like to consider them as their own entities, or wrap them into older stories.
Well, how about like, imagine that they made the boneheaded decision to make two storylines again. So Ether and Chaos again. So like Chaos.
I would support that first off.
The Rome one would kind of fit with Chaos, I think, if you pulled it off a certain way.
Absolutely.
I mean, the Rome City in the sky, and then I mean the Summoning Key one could easily be just like it could be a look back at old Ether, like on the surface, but also it could be setting up something new in the future. It would work as a duo.
We could also assume the Summoning Key idea. Let's make it a prologue so people remember what happened in Black Ops 4. And then there's the rest of the story that's coming up because it's a reboot. Ooh. Yay! Oh. I don't know about that, but it's like make it relevant and then throw it all away.
Oh man, I throw up in my mouth a little bit.
Maybe you could use.
I respect that.
Maybe you could use the Summoning Key one to right. You're traveling a lot throughout the past. Then maybe you go a little bit into the future. Say like, I'm almost thinking of it as like as like a 2 steps forward type thing to like a map 2 idea almost, where it's not that it's map 2, but anyways, let me rephrase. So now then you would have a map 1, like the first map of the game would be in the same way that there's 5 in Kino, so you'd have the Summoning Key map, and then the second one that would take a step back from what you learned in that one to explain almost how you how you got to maybe the end of that Easter egg. I think it'd be kind of fun to. I don't know. I got so bored with the Easter egg in. Basically, I guess all through BO2, you knew the towers were basically, that was basically it. And then
That was the gimmick. This is a stupid gimmick.
right, and then again in BO4, right, going to collect all the souls basically. I would like a little, I don't know. I want it shaken up a little bit, so I think some time disorientation could be good.
Every map is basically like it has been laid out with the blueprint of these are all fetch quest maps. Go get these items. We're gonna make them relevant at the end of the season. Do it.
Right.
It's been like that since Black Ops 1.
We'll see.
You can tell me I'm wrong, but
I
it's
kinda
been
like-
like that.
I think Chaos was kind of shaking that up, where it was like it seemed like you're gonna do all the trials of, the gods or whatever, and that's kind of what you do at the beginning. But then you get to
That
Ancient
was
Evil,
kind of what it was.
and it seems like the whole group just got shaken up. Like
They
three
like
of
to have
them
ideas that
incapacitated.
wrap up from. They like to have bubble ideas that wrap into what we're doing. Like the whole point of Black Ops 1, get summoning. You're not summoning key, but get the golden rod and all that shiznit.
Yep.
Richtofen ends up doing his thing. Black Ops 2, towers. Black Ops 3, summoning key in the souls. Black Ops 4, destroy everything. I really don't know how to comprehend that one. And also, the trials. The trials are a better step for it, I think. They're not the same, but they're probably a good step in the right direction, I would think, towards not being like overtly cliche.
I guess it's like if you're gonna go to all these crazy locations, it's like how do you justify that without it being okay? We got here. Oh, actually, here's a diversion. We're going to another thing. Oh, here's another diversion. Oh, here's another diversion. Instead, it's like okay, we're gonna go to all these places, and then there'll be twists along the way. I guess that's why they do it. It's not.
I'm still waiting for a map that is less about getting something and more about showcasing the map, making it an artistic feel to it. Like, or maybe
I was thinking,
even
Matt, you might relate to this. Sorry to interrupt you, but I think you'll relate to this. When I just got done playing the Modern Warfare 2 campaign, like you're in, basically done
I
with
just
and
finished it.
yeah. And so I was going through collecting all the intel, and it was actually really fun where like there would be one or two missions where there would be no intel for you to collect on that map. So you could really just like literally just play it as it was meant to be, just like raw, just go through it and you don't have to like, try to just be thinking about other things. So I don't know. Resonated with me on that level what you just said.
Well, that's another thing that would be good. Just having a map that you could play without being tethered to do anything. And I think that's part of what they tried to do with casual mode in Black Ops 4, but at the same time, I don't think anybody wants an easy mode. So it's like,
What about like
Rush?
like Rush, but without all the bells and whistles of okay, you're high score, or your score's going up. It's just like here you go. Actually, because I always
yeah.
I mean, I guess this is what theater is, but I always wanted like just look around the map, just without the zombies whacking you in the back. Just you can look around the map and explore and interact with things.
Yeah. I think that would probably be good to have. And they probably won't do it, but like it would be good to have. It would make it a bit of a
Right, they won't
healthier
use it.
experience for the 1% of people that would want to enjoy it for something else than what the creators wanted it to be.
Right. Some people don't want to type out Morse code for 10 minutes while a zombie hits you in the back.
The best
The
best Easter eggs and the best things that can come out of a game or a map are the small things that the game lets you look and find a means to just find them. It's just,
Right.
I had a much better, more poetic way of wording that, but it's like, if the game lets you, you can do wonderful things.
Right. Well, I mean, speaking of Modern Warfare 2, how would you feel about like just a museum map where you I mean, the goal is not to survive and fight zombies. You can just look around, kind of, and then you
So-
can interact with stuff and like start little modes or little mini games.
I really wish that's what
or
they
fight is
did
what you
with
would
that
want.
multiplayer map. No, you're just digging up an old wound now. I really wish that was what they did with that multiplayer map that they put in Black Ops
That could
4.
have been more interesting.
I think it could
That
be
would've been
cool
so
because
good.
when you finish the end of the Modern Warfare 2 campaign, there's a museum that opens up for you. So yeah, right. I think it'd be, and there's like little exhibits basically of all the missions you went through, and so I think it'd be so fun,
Right.
to play off something like that where you can walk up to the, it's like people are frozen until you walk up to them and they start moving and doing
Yeah.
things, and then that'd be so cool to be able to like then interact further and do something else.
It'd be such a cool way to tell the story if you just wanted to like review, like you just play it and you can walk through it and kind of review the story in this interesting way. So it's like,
Yeah.
and like you see stuff happen on like the inside the exhibit. So it's like you see, you get to the giant, you see Richtofen step out of the teleporter and shoot himself just like right in front of you. You can get
Right.
any angle you want. It's cool.
Yeah, I think that would be
That's just
so fun.
That would probably make me appreciate them a lot more than I do now. It would make me appreciate what they do a lot.
It's good fun. But
Yeah.
so I guess this is a good time to wrap it up then.
Oh no,
Any other-
totally.
Yeah. Any other thoughts on those map ideas we're put out
Yes, but not worth.
mean-
we just gotta leave it at that for me, I guess. I don't. There's too many.
We're gonna have to set that dinosaurs thing over to another
there? Yeah. Let's
podcast.
put that on the
Yes.
docket.
Yeah. Let's try to remember it. Somebody put it in their notes. Write that down.
Right.
New trend.
Yeah, tell the assistant.
All right. Anyway,
Doctor.
see you guys next time.
Wait, I wanted to. Wait.
Would you
Now's
want
your
to?
time.
Yeah,
I,
dude.
I was gonna ask if you were gonna let me shill.
Sure.
Oh my.
Well, it depends
my
for what.
maps.
Are you selling the vitamin pills or are you? Okay,
I was
yeah,
gonna
you
sell
the
my maps.
Okay, yeah, that's fine.
Yes,
Yeah.
Go ahead.
please, by all means, go for it. Sell your maps.
Also, read the Unity series on the forums.
Yes.
I write them, and I get help from a few people. It's great. I recommend it.
We are gonna have links to that in the description. We do recommend it. It's a fun series exploring.
I recommend
creativity.
Citadel.
All right,
Yep.
there it is. We'll link
Citadel's kind
Citadel.
of like that stuff in the mountain that you were talking about. Actually, now that I think about it,
Ooh.
but that's a whole different thing.
Right.
Yeah, that's it from me. I almost feel bad for self promotion,
No,
but
no.
I kind of had to do
Dude,
it.
not at all.
Not unless
Yeah.
you're making money off of it. I mean,
I
Mhm.
don't.
There you go.
anyway. But yeah, people just go to the forums, man. Yeah, we'll link it in the description.
I want those to be mapped so
Go read
bad that you don't even know.
Yeah, and also if you're a map maker, maybe get in touch with Matt. Maybe you can get that
Yeah.
started.
All right. And so finally, if anybody who has made it this far into the video/audio experience, if you have any map ideas, feel free to drop them in the comments, and maybe we can do like a viewer comment, explore some of the
Please.
ideas that they put in.
Yeah. Yeah.
I want to be able to do that too. I think that would be an amazing podcast.
It'd be so fun.
Please
But we
share.
need you all to comment.
Right.
Some of the stuff
we need your
thinking.
support.
Please.
Post a comment below, and I'll send you a pizza roll. All right.
Ooh, we could do that. We actually probably could.
I'll ship you a loot crate.
I'm not
Actually,
promising.
no, wait, I can't guarantee that.
No, they don't make those no more. You'll make your own.
I'll ship you a can of soup.
Okay. Can of soup.
A box
Anyway.
of Twinkies. All right, sorry. Let's just wrap it up.
Anyway, goodbye, guys.
Have a good one, everyone.